Chapter 12, Organization for Office Management and Business Research.
Good day, ma'am. I am Jeneriel Cagas, a Bshm 2B. For today's presentation, I will be present at Chapter 12, Organization for Office Management and Business Research.
Office Management and Services. Office work constitutes an important segment of a modern enterprise. Office management is concerned with the direction and supervision of office work. Office work includes the merchandising of transactions as well as the results thereof, writing, unwritten letters, filing papers, typewriting, messenger work, computing, and related activities. Effective handling of office work is basic to efficient management.
Office management is, therefore, basically concerned with the overall direction of clerical activities, as distinguished from such activities as finance, manufacturing, sales, personnel, and purchasing.
The growing importance of office management is apparent in non-office employees. The so-called white-collar workers are increasing percentage-wise at a rate faster than blue-collar workers. In the Philippines, traditional psychology makes employees prefer white-collar jobs, even blue-collar jobs are more tithe.
While office management is not yet a profession like accounting, nor a fourth and major function like sales or production, it is nevertheless growing in importance.
Who is responsible for office management and services? The office management function may be specialized through the appointment of an office manager. If the company has an office manager, B, therefore, will be responsible for the efficient execution of office management and services. The office manager must have a general knowledge of every major part of the enterprise and every intimate knowledge of some portions. He must solve problems involving practically every activity of the enterprise. He must possess a genuine might and ability in managerial work. The manager may have an assistant to whom the assigns such responsibility, but the basic command and contract are vested in him.
In companies that have no office manager, the responsibility for the office management and services may be delegated to an administrative assistant. Assigning these responsibilities to various department heads of the enterprise has been experienced not effective. Sometimes, office management is handled by the assistant secretary, the chief accountant, or some other executives. The comptroller is sometimes charged with more than accounts and is given supervision over office activities. In banks, insurance companies, and financial institutions, the office manager may report directly to the president or to major vice president.
The place of office management is also dependent on size, on the nature of the business, and on the philosophy of top management. There seems no point in specializing the office function in a small firm. The small office is inclined to be informal.
In a bigger enterprise, however, scheduling and records management may get out of hand if not handled by a parity department.
A manufacturing establishment would have a different office setup from an insurance company. The philosophy of top management as regards centralizing or decentralizing the office function will affect organization. So the availability of office space and personnel, the extent of communications facilities, and the traditions or customs in the industry itself.
Office management is not only a facilitating function. It is also an important center of coordination. The office manager is a good executive and supervisor who is expert in clerical details and office procedures. And at the same time, he must realize that records and all the things he deals with are only means to facilitate executive control and to promote the most function of the productive functions.
Importance of office work. The importance of office work may be stated as follows. Number 1. Office work is a facilitating function. It is the essential medium through which the various activities of an enterprise are fused together. It is the lifeblood of any modern enterprise. 2. Office services are the basis of the entire managerial activities of planning, coordinating, directing, and controlling. Facts and information are necessary for intelligent planning. This data involves separate records which in turn involve office tasks. The integration of decisions and actions, implied in coordination, requires the exchange of information and instructions and adequate communications between members of management. Finally, all activities involved necessitate the full coordination of the office. 3. The technical and individual work of practically every department of the enterprise is implemented by the office function.
For instance, the credit department cannot operate successfully without the records of the creditors, to amounts and dates due, list of delinquent accounts, credit history of customers, and quantity of correspondence. This again emphasizes the importance of office work.
Office system. Office system is a term applied of filling, making records, writing letters, computing, and so on. Office system in a well-organized business is made up to carefully laid out routines or established ways of doing work.
As a matter of fact, there is a routine for performing every kind of office work, and all office work must go through the established routines. Every similar piece of work must undergo similar process through the same steps in the same way.
In setting up a system, an issue that frequently crops up is the extent to which certain office functions should be centralized. What clerical activities should be centralized and what should be decentralized? The advocates of centralization argue that centralization enables flexibility in the use of clinical personnel. An example of centralization would be a stenotyping pool.
Instead of having separate typists and stenographers for each unit, section, or supervisor in a firm, all typists and stenographers would be concentrated in one pool and their services given where the need exists. Centralization erodes the cost of supervision and enables line executives to pay greater attention to their specific tasks without worrying too much about office details.
Specialization is fostered. Production in a simple job like handling an addressograph machine or a mimegraphing machine can be tremendously increased if the person handling it is specialized and does not have to take dictation, type, or file records at the same time. Training is also easier in a centralized office, which administration, incentive payments, and performance check are also better affected. Centralization may, however, be overdone. The office manager may be so concerned with his department that he forgets his main job to facilitate the work of the other departments. Confidential matters may leak out, irritating problems concerning minor changes and corrections in correspondence. Frequent consultations of certain records, prioritized in handling of paperwork, and red tape may hamper operations. It is the job of top management to determine where centralization is good and to what extent it should be applied. Certain office work like mail, reception of callers, Jeneriel services, duplicating services, filling, computing, records management, library services, routine correspondence, and communication should, to a certain extent, be centralized. Record keeping. Records of purchases and sales of all activities and the place where these records are made and kept in probably the most important work of the office. In large offices, these records are kept by the accounting officer at that time that he is keeping track of all the accounts and the money received, paid, or of. The same department further handles the function of recording, tabulating, and reporting the results of all transactions. The reports prepared show the past success or failures and help to determine the future activities of the company.
In the conduct of business, there is always the existence of correspondence, letters received and letters sent out. In large offices, several persons may be assigned to handle correspondence which, after having been answered, must be filed accordingly. They must be easily located for reference, and record-keeping system is very important.
Records must be ample. To meet the test of simplicity, records should be sufficient to meet requirements but no more. They should not exceed the requirements for which they are prepared. Records should be accurate. They should not certain errors. Records should be economical.
In some instances, the front of preparing and maintaining records may be more than the economy they were supposed to bring out about the records should be. Unnecessary records have no place in a business.
Records keeping may be qualified as to whether it is centralized or decentralized. Or clarification may be according to the method used in locating items that are filed. Thus, it may be alphabetical, with subject headings arranged according to how they appear in the alphabet. This method may be appropriate for all firms but becomes unwieldy and cumbersome in big establishments. Records keeping may be geographical. All items in one geographic area are filled together, with sub-filling according to subject matter or alphabetical heading. It may be numerical, in which case an index are first prepared to correlate the number with the alphabetical headings. It may be according to subject matter, but the need for an alphabetical index is apparent.
An inefficient method would, of course, be chronological filling, where papers are put one on top of another in the time sequence of their arrival.
An important kind of record is the report. The report may be administrative or to meet the needs of administration. The annual report, the balance sheet, and financial statements are administrative reports. Periodic departmental reports are prepared by the various departments to outline their performance. The sales manager would prepare a periodic report for his department. Based on the periodic reports of the branches and sales unit under him, special reports are prepared from time to time to tell of new products, new methods, new processes, reorganization, or similar information. These reports may be prepared in a narrative accounting or statistical form, or they may be a composite of all three types of preparing a report. Office layout. The job of office management with respect to the office layout consists of the determination of space requirements and their detailed utilization and to provide practical arrangement of the physical factors. The net result of the increasing use of office machines has been to increase the quantity and quality of office performances. Aside from typing, calculating, duplicating, dictating, transcribing, and accounting machines,
for instance, typewriters and other machines, electrified, calculating and duplicating devices have been simplified and speeded up. Dictating and transcribing machines have been perfected and made easy to handle.
The net result of the increasing use of office machines has been to increase the quantity and quality of office performances. Aside from typing, calculating, duplicating, dictating, transcribing, and accounting machines, many companies also use microfilming, addressing, folding, stamping, and mailing, sorting, hailing, and tabulating machines. Each of these functions may be handled by different kinds of machines. For instance, duplicating may be by mind graphing, blueprinting, photography, or photocopying. Office services. As earlier stated, services are for the purpose of helping other departments of the business to facilitate their work to better advantage. Communication, for instance, is necessary between individuals, between departments, and with those outside of the company. Some of the facilitating office services that may be summarized are: 1. Handling of paper. Incoming letters are received, opened, sorted, and distributed. Outgoing letters are folded, enclosed, and mailed. Mailing is an important service as it definitely facilitates communication. Preparation of communication. Letters have to be dictated and transcribed. Receiving dictation is a service as it is a facilitating activity. It may be accomplished through machine dictation and transcription, telephone dictation, the use of the dictograph or other devices. 3. Centralized correspondence practice. This is also a way of rendering office service since it facilitates communication by more adequately and promptly answering letters. 4. Conservation. Letters and papers must be preserved. They are sources of past and present information and guides in the future. Efficient filling is very essential in preserving these office products as it facilitates the finding of the desired papers needed by the various departments of the business. 5. Procurement. Storing and distribution of office stationery and forms and supplies. These materials are needed to carry and facilitate the work of everyone in the office. 6. Maintenance of first aid unit. This is an office service because it facilitates the taking care of accidents or sudden illness which may become serious if not attended to promptly. 7. Employer services. These services facilitate the effort of the employees more or less in their own behalf and may include an office library, office cafeteria, rest facilities, and the other services mentioned in the chapter on organization of Penonel.
Nowadays, with business operating in high speed, a well-managed office is recognized as an almost indispensable aid to effective management of business.
Office accounting organization. Function of accounting. From the standpoint of office management, the main function of accounting is keeping the management
Robinson's
informed
business
about the
organization
and
and
practice
practice
shows
by
a
collecting
typical
pertinent
structural
information
organization
and
of an
presenting the
accounting
same to
department
those
of
who
a
are
regular
responsible
business
for the conduct
concern.
of the business.
We can see the different
A.
functional
Robinson's
divisions
business
such
organization
as
and practice
physical
shows
facilities,
a typical
service and
structural
practices
organization
division,
of an
and
accounting
office
department
personnel
of a regular
division.
business concern.
Each division
We can
in
see the
turn
different functional
composed of
division,
different
such
sections
as
or
physical
sub-sections, all
service
carrying
and
out
practices division,
the
and
facilitating
office
functions of the
personnel
accounting
division.
department of the
Each
whole
division in
business
turn composed
enterprise
of different sections or
sub-sections, all carrying out the facilitating functions of the accounting department of the whole business enterprise. Records. The accounting department prepares record, which show how much money is received and paid out, who owe the company as well as those to whom the company is indebted and for how much. From the records, it could be determined how much business the company has for this year and the corresponding cost and so on. Business research. For business to succeed, its operations must be based on an accurate knowledge of facts. The decision of a businessman must, as far as is practicable, be based on facts and not on more guesses or beliefs as to what the facts may be. This is the function of business research to methodically and scientifically ascertain all facts that may have a bearing on the business. Together with research is the function of forecasting. Business is also premised on the knowledge that consumer desires and opinions are possible of approximating or estimating with reasonable certainty. Manufacturers want data on the market potentials of their products. What is the potential size of the market? Are there any factors of geography, season, habits of consumers, competition, law, and channels of distribution that must be considered? Research is also necessary in product development, in the formulation of marketing plans, in the choice of advertising and sales promotion, and the extent of capital investments.
Business research is also availed of by investors who may want to help start a factory, a marketing firm, or other business establishment. While the aim of research is to get facts, it does not limit itself to facts. Estimates, opinions, and even information may guide decision-making by management.
Research may be either commercial or technical. Commercial research is mainly involved with consumer taste and desires. It ascertains the trends in buying habits, the impact of sales promotions and advertising, and the quantities and qualities of a good or service which must be achieved. Technical research is concerned with studies on how a product or its parts, equipment, processes, and methods may be developed and improved. Research may also be empirical if it relies heavily on past experiences to determine future trends, or it may be scientific methodology to establish causal relationships. Tools of research have been developed to meet the increasing needs of business forecasting. The use of mathematical theory of random sampling or business statistics and the science of probability is fast increasing. Interviews, questionnaires, and build surveys by highly skilled interviewers and analysts is now quite common. Business research must be systematic and scientific. It is the task of management to use it wisely and effectively, if it to yield maximum good.